Hello. Who do we have out there in the space? The void of space tonight. Let's have a look. Hello, hello, hello. Howdy guys, welcome. Good to see you guys back on another Thursday community stream. After everything, we ended up calling it Devs Lost in Space. That was a fun one last week trying to get the name, but it seems after everything it ended up being the same, which is fine. Now we can move forward with confidence. But let's have a look. Let's do some shout outs who we've got here in both the YouTube and the Twitch here. So in YouTube, I can see 50 Jungle, N1 Ran, Niran, Hellerman, Path, Darkness Blood, Hendrix, William, Sunken, Chewy, Starry, Boeing, Space Explorer, Nicholas, Alex, Rene, Kevin, Chipsticks, Ossie, Reese, Adam, Mr. Alex, Stephen, Crimson. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And William T, Cyberfreeb. In the Twitch, I see Husker, Karmak, Dan, Sky King, Aaron, Umber, James, Pearl, Binary Doug, Void, Spartan, The Altair, Panzer, Chimney, Wormy, Swifty, James, Dean, Spartan. There we go. Awesome. Welcome, guys. So, today, Aaron was going to join us, but unfortunately some things came up, so we had to kind of keep today brief a little bit. But next week, the plan will be to actually have our first modder interview, and I'm hoping to have that modder next week. So it's going to be something interesting here, and we'll basically have a look at their mods and kind of discuss their experience of modding Space Engineers. And if that goes well, which I'm hoping it will, hopefully this will lead to doing many more interviews with modders, because honestly, modding is a huge part of our community. It's amazing just how much creativity there is and how many crazy things they come up with. Hey, Doozer, welcome. Blade, good to see you. Now, there was a couple of comments that we missed some questions last week. So I'm kind of hoping those people are here again today. And once again, we don't ignore questions. It is really just the fact that it often is hard to address all the conversations in the kind of conversation length. So I'll try my best today, as we haven't got any interviews planned, to really nail down on the questions connected. And if there's anything that you guys are dying to know, we can I can get to it today, because I really don't want that to be a kind of a feeling that, you know, we're ignoring you or so anything else like that. I really want to make sure that I can get to them. So I apologize that we may have missed some last week. It's sometimes hard, especially when if I'm doing an interview on the stream, because I'm talking with this person, and it's not always it's not always easy to focus on the chat as much. But it's just me today, so I will try my best to get to some of the things that I may have missed last week. Hold on a second. I got to. We're in game here already. I'll get the game up. We're gonna do a scenario today, as of you guys. If you guys want to jump in, we'll be doing a scenario multiplayer in a second. Hopefully the game's gonna come up now. There we go. So just to start off with, we just have the showcase world open so people can join in and showcase some of the builds they've created recently. And then I think we're going to do... There was a couple of things. There was some mech scenario that was up, and potentially a racing scenario. So we'll kind of do... I mean, maybe you can vote on that. See what you guys... More polls, no. But see what you guys rather do. Fantastic Starship here, recreation. Look at that. I need to just increase the size of YouTube chat. It's always much smaller here. To remind myself how I do it in the... There it is. Okay. Fantastic. There we go. See that better now. Is there a chance of a peak that overhauls the game to more align with the Expanse, or is that already a mod pack? There are definitely mods out there that can be that can kind of get closer to that experience, I would say. Too cool. But maybe you haven't found the right kind of mods. I'm not sure if anyone has any suggestions for mods that would lead you to have a more experience similar to the Expanse. I mean, chat in general it's hard, I think, for conversations, especially when you're having multiple conversations. So if you're talking about one thing, it's fine, but more often than not, chipsticks, there's like 10 conversations happening at once. Whoa! Holy moly! Hold on, I gotta track this puppy. Wait a minute. Wow! I think this has the Rocket FX here, which is a mod here, because the plumes coming out of that was incredible. Look at this. I think it looks like the first stage and the second or the booster. Yeah, both stages are firing there, which is probably a bug. But this is pretty crazy here. We've got those beautiful engines at the bottom. Got the grid fins as well. I can't wait to see this thing launch in real life. You're playing Space Engineers right now. Fantastic. Yeah. Too many questions is good, Blade. No, I'm always reading the comments. I was reading the comments from the last stream, and there were some people who really felt like we were actively ignoring, which I really want to stress again, that is not the case. I'll answer it might not be able to give you the answer you want, but as long as I can get to it eventually. Let's have a look. As for the next update, I know lots... Oh, hold on, I should be following the starship. Hold on a second here. Oh, no, it's there. Okay. Looks like a failed land... Oh, hold on a minute. What did I miss? Failed landing, or did I actually miss a separation and it pulled off the belly flop? And, oh, hello. This has got thrusters. Thrusters on the... up top? Holy moly, that's a lot of thrusters. Perfect SpaceX landing. So, yeah, still nothing quite yet on the next update. I know, I can't wait to go into it in more detail soon. But I know you hate the word soon, but it is coming, still being worked on. And we're also getting not just closer towards that next update. We're also getting closer towards there being some major previews of that as well. So, MCR PDCs and fusion drive mods are perfect for expand ships. So maybe have a look at that if you haven't already. The PDCs and the fusion drive for expand ships. Hello, I just wanted to ask whether the AI of pirates and their buildings will be updated. They are weak. Have they changed? Is there a bug there maybe with the pirates? Or are you just talking in general, like an update since they were introduced, you know? Oh, this is nice. Look at this. All right. This server, it's called Showcase server. X-Wing London is the server itself, so you can have a look for it, and you're welcome to join here. So we'll look at some stuff for a bit, try and talk in the meantime, and then yeah, jump onto some Showcase map. I appreciate these may not have the most exciting information for you, these streams. Again, I didn't have enough time this week to properly get something prepped, and I wasn't feeling so well today either, so even leading up to the stream, I was a little underprepared. But the main thing was about making sure that we do it, making sure that that schedule continues, and that you guys can rely on this being here every Thursday, you know? In the coming weeks, still have plans for it. I really hope we can get our first modder interview on next week. So I appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully we can have some fun and some nice hangout chats here. Because like I say, there's not always a time for the chats and as many questions on the main busy stream. So even if these streams are sometimes just a chat with the community, I like to think that can be really beneficial to kind of remind of the current situations. And actually, there's one thing that's going on at the moment that I just heard about. There was a hotfix, I think went out today. That was an issue about joining modded worlds. There was some kind of connection issue when trying to join modded worlds, and I was told that there was a fix for that today. And Torch will also be fixed, connected to that soon as well. So that's some news. If you had any issues with there was one earlier. Fantastic. Okay. Link to the rocket ship. Yeah, if anyone's got, it's hard for me to paste the links, but if anyone is playing and also watching, feel free to link up your creations in the chat as we go along here. How you doing, Ian? Welcome. Let's have a look at this house then. Oh, this is nice. You've got a washer, a dryer, a little Arctic home here. It's kind of the frosted. I feel like, hold on a second. Let me take this build and go to the Arctic. I'll be back in a second, guys. Let's get the setting right, you know. Torch is already fixed. Fantastic. It was a couple hours back, and Kianata was telling me that they were waiting. Yeah, it was inbound pretty much, the fix for Torch or something like this. So that was a small kind of news that things like that, there was that issue that people were having with the modded servers should be better. Can you tell us why the Nexus Seamless client plugin is not allowed in the workshop. I have a lot of players who would love it to use it on our server. What did something happen connected to this, Swifty? I'm just curious here. Like, I feel like I may have missed something. Oh, it's small grid. Okay, so let's drop it down here. I'll come back to the main zone in a second, guys. I'm just going to paste this in, and then I'll be back in. All right, I'm going back to YouTube chat now. Any chance we'll get something like server messages saying player name has died? It'd be simpler to identify griefers. So you're saying not necessarily in-game, but you're saying like server messages. And if maybe something's like maybe like kind of kill messages, like somebody killed this person, you know. But the problem with that is there's so many ways to do that in Space Engineers. You know, you can throw a block at someone and they'll just say they died. But I'm pretty sure the server knows when someone dies. I don't know for sure, but we have some server admins in the chat, I think, right now, TDO. So hopefully we can get you an answer to that one. How long does it really take to get into Space Engineers? Maybe, hold on, maybe I'll put that question also to you guys in the chat. What do you feel like is the breaking point, or the line that you cross? Because I do admit, getting into Space Engineers can be overwhelming. There's a lot the potential is high, and you can do so much stuff. But I found from watching new players who get into the game, once you get past a certain number of hours, once you cross that threshold, that's the stage where a lot of people get hooked, you know. That seems to be the case from what I've seen, but I'm curious what you guys think that threshold is. Are we 4 hours, 12 hours? At which point, if you can get past that point, is the point where you're like, yes, because there are a lot of systems to take on board when you first load the game. I was just watching one of my friends, actually, streamer called Maya, play Space Engineers for the first time, and it was interesting watching him learn the game. But I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Just scroll up here again, and like again, guys, I know I also missed the same question like even 4 or 5 times, but if I missed your question because the chat's moving, please just repaste it a couple minutes later, and I really hope I can get to it. And the best way for me to see your question is put the little brackets question and then, you know, close brackets, so the question comes up a little more clearly in the chat as opposed to a general comment. I posted... hold on. What's that, Banjo? You posted a com to the post, have ideas on how to improve Space Engineers. Oh, you mean on social media? I think we probably put a post out asking how to improve Space Engineers, maybe? 1 hour? You reckon 1 hour? I feel like a bit more than that to get past it. I have nearly 3,000 hours, so... My rule of thumb is anywhere between 20 to 100 hours. Depends how quick of a learner you are. It is true. It's not a set number, I think. But I still feel like there's a threshold that's kind of key. Or maybe it's not a threshold. Maybe it's just once you understand some core principles about the game, then it becomes, you know, a lot easier. Maybe there's a couple of things in the game that are tough to begin with, you know. SE is a big learning curve, but you've... it nailed, but once you have it nailed, you can build anything. That can easily take 40 hours or more, though. Yep. Heck, I mean, I probably would struggle to build things still. I mean, one of the jokes is that I don't build, and it's mainly a time thing, and that I'm always kind of casting more so. But one of these days, I'll get back to just building. But I honestly think that if you tasked me with building something, I think I would struggle still. Yeah. I'm out of practice. I wonder if Space Engineers will put Clang as a physical entity in the game. Maybe it's a ghostly space whale that appears when you have pistons doing too much. That sounds to me that might be, what's the word? Blasphemy or something. I feel like Clang already exists in the game as an entity. Just as a... just as a... an unseen entity. Question. Great. I like it, Adam. Are there plans to add more weapons for engineers, players, not ships, or just or just rebuild combat? So obviously, again, this is another question that we get a lot, and it even goes back to some older polls about what people want most from space engineers. And definitely we hear you on that. And, you know, combat is definitely an area that I think is one of the most requested for areas of improvement, I think. Now, not everyone's interested in combat. And, you know, I've been doing some streams recently with all this tournament stuff. You guys may have seen it. But, you know, there are plenty of players in the community who have no interest in combat. And they're only interested in the engineering side or the creative side of or more peaceful building. I mean, obviously in battles and so on, there is a lot of engineering and kind of creativity needed, of course. But yes, not everyone is a fan of the end goal being combat. But I still feel like the majority of people would like to see that. So while I can't add anything to it right now, Adam, I definitely want to say that Keen is like fully aware of the passion to see more combat related things in Space Engineers. Okay, question. Thank you guys. The question brackets really help. Would it be possible to add more things to vanilla HUD, like say the build planner, so we don't have to keep open the G menu? I don't think mods are able to do this. I think the easy inventory mod, I think there are maybe ways, or we have there is a HUD API mod out there, and I think there may be something for that, for showing the build planner like on the HUD as well. I mean, still, my dream would always be to have a customizable HUD, but it's quite hard in the current state. But yeah, no, I think there is something out there, Trindle. My feeling is there is something, but I don't have a link. So maybe if anyone knows of anything like that, please do link it up. You guys are welcome to leave links connected to what I'm talking about and you know, SC stuff in chat. The server name is, well, there it is, 20 players already. X-Wing London, and it's called Showcase World. So yeah, just checking out this house here. It's pretty cozy. Yeah, we got like a little little kind of gaming room upstairs. Oh, there's some lights here. Hold on. Hey, there we go. This is something completely different. A nice little cozy cabin in the snow. Okay, that's the light for that room. All right, interesting. Hold on, there was a question about this the Nexus. I asked about it, but I missed the response. Hold on, let me get to that a second. I wonder what this is here. A little green panel. Oh, a bed maybe? I don't know. Yeah, maybe a bed. I just don't think this is all small grid, of course, as well. So that's what allows the detail here. We got this, a nice little wash basin there, nice toilet and shower. Small grid, of course. Okay, hold on. Seems I'm a little bit stuck. All right. Very nice. It's a nice little house here. I will go back to the main spawn now and see if we can get back. Yeah, well, oh yeah, one of the yeah, so there is something, there is a lot of discussion about plugins at the moment, guys, and yeah, it's actually quite a widespread discussion. So I don't have anything to add to it today, but I believe that there will be something on that soon, okay? Because I know there's lots of questions, and there's been, I'm not sure exactly about that one, Swifty, that particular instance of what happened there, but we do need to talk about this soon. So I would just say it's not the best answer, but for now, just stay tuned on kind of the status of plugins and stuff. Like, you know, the plugins that people are doing, there's some amazing stuff happening, right? It's crazy what people are doing with it. But we need to talk about it a bit more. All right, so an Avengers tower. Look at that. Whose is this? That's insane. Does it have an interior as well? Whoa. Look at that. That's insane. It's just like 1-to-1 scale or something nearly. Check it out. This, when I revisited here, there's so much. We should probably cap the... oh, that's... Wow. Oh my goodness. That's also a nice Star Trek ship. Okay, well, we'll have a look at all this in a second here. I'll just leave this in the background because I know I need to get... I said I'd do more questions today, so let me just jump back into the chat here. Thank you, Smokey. Good to see you. Welcome more people joining us. Do you think Keen will ever add human NPC characters or character weapon variety? So, Nathan, NPCs are not something that we're working on currently. Again, it's up there with weapons, I think. You know, I think water, weapons, NPCs, water, I guess, are still the big things for us, the big major requests that community has. I already mentioned the weapon stuff as well. Good evening, Miko. Are you planning to expand the economical system? So again, currently we have some things in the works, as I already mentioned, but there is no plans at the moment to expand it. I can imagine ways there could be though, like some of the I always remember the enhanced exploration mod. There is definitely some really cool mods out there which do their own thing, but also I think there's some ones that maybe enhance the vanilla economy stuff as well. But yeah, it would be nice to see, Miko, for sure. Are you working to improve? I'm in the YouTube chat now for a second, guys. The YouTube chat seems to have a crazy amount of questions now. 1 second. To improve the programming, something like PLC or flowcharts. So, in game, there isn't plans to change the programmable block, but of course, we have the visual scripting tool, which really helps when it comes to approaching programming and scripting scenarios and stuff in the game. So that's probably the best answer for that. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it would be cool to have a similar thing in-game as well, right? Where you could open up the programmable block and all the same stuff and the visual scripting tool could be in there, but... when are we... It's a very good question, Crimson. One of the people I want to get on the stream is NNRA, who does the armor expansion mod. So actually, I should ask that. I've already got some people in mind, but which modders out there would you like to see me bring on to the show to interview, and we can look at all their stuff in detail? I definitely want Jack to come on because Jack did the weather, which we worked with him on to do the weather in the vanilla game. And, you know, he's been working a lot. He does the water mod as well, so we could do a water mod showcase of Jack. And he's also got the Nebula mod, which is just beautiful stuff. So I'm hoping to have... I mean, he's one of many, you know. But I'm curious if you guys have any specific requests for modder showcases. No, I mean, I'm just looking with Shane, looking at Shane's comment. I'm trying to understand the question there. The Xbox version of the game has a dedicated team for it, and it's still got a lot of people looking at it, working on it, and since it released nearly a year ago now, was it April? No, I think April was maybe the previous. Year's gone so quickly. But since the release of Xbox, the main thing was about getting it up to speed with the PC version. It was behind because there was features that were in the PC version that had problems being on the Xbox version, and pretty much now they're very similar. There are a few things that you can't do, and that's mainly because of the Microsoft rules that we have, and they're it's not for us to decide. But a lot of the resources, we put into to getting up the Xbox version to speed. So I'm a little more curious to know more details, Shane, about the point you made there. William, how you doing? All right, I'm gonna jump back to the Twitch chat just to mix it up. That's the other thing. I think it's good to do multi-stream because I think some people prefer Twitch, some people prefer YouTube, but it definitely would be easier if it was all in one chat. Let's have a look here from the Twitch chat. Climb, Lucas. Yes, I mean, I know, I can see why that, I can see these names. Roni, no. Maybe if Roni can go some weeks without being banned, I'll consider it. Darkstar, definitely. Okay, there's some names in there. 6 Dice as well. All right. It'd be cool to speak to the guys doing some of this multi-server stuff as well. That's some really cool stuff. Okay, awesome, Climb. Let me just do some showcase in a second, then we'll switch over to the Mech football you guys have. Is that right, Space? Looking here. Yeah, there's definitely... Scroll up. Oh, will more NPC ships be added to vanilla spawning? Even stuff like adding the ships from the old economy update to spawn lists. Are you Jester? Are you talking? I think that's probably right. Are you talking about, or Jetta? Are you talking about cargo ships? When you say NPC ships, are you talking about cargo ships or encounters? What kind of NPC ships? Personally, I still really want to do a competition where we have a competition. Actually, hold on, was it? No, I'm getting confused there a little bit. No, it's all good. All right, I'll try and do some showcase in the meantime here. So here we have an Avengers Tower. Very interesting indeed. Wow. It's going to come in here a little bit. So it's got some little bit of interior, but I think the main interior that's been done is up top, I think. Oh, I thought it was a missile. No, it's just a plane here. Got the landing pads. Got the hangout room. Let me come in here and paste in. There we go. This feels pretty authentic, actually. This feels pretty accurate recreation. I haven't watched it for a while now, but this feels pretty solid. Is this then back here is the lab, right? So like down here is all the hangout area. Okay. I remember there was multiple levels, wasn't there? There's a bar there. And I think back here is the lab. It is! Look at this! Oh man, this is solid. Look at that. Got the hologram of it on the table. It's all coming back to me now. And there was also this as well, I think. There was a glass floor in some part of the lab as well. This is pretty sweet. I still don't know who made it though. Let me see if I can get a tool here to have a look. Yeah, trying to get that balance between looking at... Hold on. Okay. I mean, says Ghost of Pudeshima. I'm not sure if that was the creator or if that was the person who pasted it in, but oh, here they are. Maybe I imagine it is. It is fantastic. Well, Ghost of Pudeshima, this is fantastic. Thank you for your the tour of your facility here. It's a very nice recreation. I can follow you if there's some other cool areas in it. Feel free to show me around if I've missed an area here. Right, and we'll jump back to the chat in a second. I'll try and keep it so it's a mix of talking and showcase. Cargo ships encounters. really anything showing up in the world. So, do you find that's because the cargo ships that you guys are finding, you've actually found the majority of them already, for example? Like, who in the chats thinks that they've came across, like, all of the cargo ships or encounters in the game? Because I honestly don't know the number at this point. I'm not sure how many there are, but I wonder if anyone feels that they've actually found every single one or came across every single one. So you got, like, the armory here. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Is that... Are we having some... There's a door on the A there. There we go. There's some issues there, Hendrix. Is the stream having some issues, or... Should be fine. Fantastic. There we go. Let's come and look at some of these builds. Right. I'll look at one more build here. And then jump back to the chat for a second. I've got to look at this Enterprise. This is beautiful. Look at this. Seems to really... And it's small grid as well. Okay, so it's small grids. Which would... There's quite a lot of detailing on here. How you doing, Enera? It's really hard for me, NN, to call you Enera. It's just... It's built into me now. Somehow I got over it and called Curvus Kevus, but for some reason Enera is like... It's like built into my brain. It's crazy. Oh, you avoid NPC ships. They've got guns. We've got a yellow space taxi. All right. I'll follow this taxi about for a second here as I jump back to chat. Feel free to fly around, taxi. Show me something cool. Right. Coming back to the YouTube chat now. Any idea if tracks are being worked on or will ever be worked on? I want to build some vanilla tanks, but rotor tracks are stupidly complex and large. Tank tracks, I mean, even beyond tanks, I mean, there's so many applications for tank tracks. And, you know, we've done a lot of scenarios around them. They're extremely, well, there are ways to do them in a more... You have multiple ways of doing them. You can do them in a more kind of arcadey, less simulated way, or you can do them more simulated and having kind of more complicated, but maybe enabling them to behave better. That's the thing. Again, there's nothing being worked on for tank tracks. It's up there for me, you know, my personal kind of what I think is really great. Like, I think still aerodynamics is what I really find awesome. You know, from one of the community areas of creations, you know, because it's a bit like water, but aerodynamics, it's what I love about it is that it spawns a whole new genre of ship, a whole new category of ships. You know, ships of just thrusters in one direction. And tank tracks would do a similar thing, you know. I think tank tracks, it would still be ground vehicles, but tank tracks would spawn a whole new area of vehicles being created, other than just wheeled ones, you know. Sarah says, variety of encounters okay, variety of how you interact with encounters would do a lot. So you think there's enough encounters, but maybe how you approach them or how the interactions you have with these encounters could be varied more. Because are they... You have to excuse me, because it really has been a while since I personally interacted with an encounter. Do they still have booby traps and stuff? I did listen to the song contest, so that's a good point, Blubber. The Sounds of Space Engineers song contest closed on Monday, and we had a huge influx of entries in the final days. I think in total, I think in total we have around 315 tracks were submitted. So I've already listened to some of them, and there are some absolute crackers, I will say that. And I still think it's going to be really hard to kind of find those top 10, top 15. They still have booby traps and and drones and stuff. Okay. You say it's been a while because mostly the survival I've been playing in recent years, we haven't used the vanilla encounters, or we haven't had encounters. So I haven't actually gone after an encounter for a while. So yeah, lots and lots of submissions for the song contest, and the plan is still to announce those at the end of this month. So we've got a couple of weeks to go through those entries. And there's a number of them, a good number of the team are going to be listening to them, so it's not biased because of course I might have a taste for music and so on. So the plan is, you know, we have myself, we have Marek, there is going to be Kianata, also Vlado as well, our COO, and also there might be one more as well which I've forgotten, but also Carol Antonin, who is our composer for Space Engineers. So he knows a thing or two about music and making music for Space Engineers. So he will also be looking at the entries to helping us find our top places. If I didn't mention it last week, I believe we're actually going to be picking the top 10 results because there are so many entries, you know, over 300. Trying to pick the top 3 out of 300 entries, it's just going to be too brutal, I think. So I think I'm almost certain that we'll be picking the top 10 and reorganizing the prizing structure a little bit here because there's just so many quality entries that I think it'll be impossible to come to an agreement on the top 3, honestly. And it's great. It's great that it turned out this way because I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it was. You know, it's honestly been probably one of our biggest, if not the biggest, competition we've ever done. You know, we've done screenshot competitions, video competitions, but I don't think we've ever had nearly as many entries as we've had for this one. Welcome, Kianata, in the chat. How you doing, man? So, just going back to the chat here, will you be reworking survival mode, specific ores per planet to enforce exploration? So with survival, right now, there are no plans. The main thing is, it's definitely one of those areas that I feel like has potential, but it's still at the moment, it's really about giving the players as many tools and the community as many tools as possible. What I mean by tools is I mean blocks, gameplay mechanics, and so on to work with. But survival mode specifically is not something we're currently looking at. Yeah, and apologies if, you know, yeah, I try to answer the questions and it might not be the answer you were looking for, but I'm trying to at least tell you guys what the answers are to that, rather than just ignore them or, well, you know, seemingly ignore them, right? So yeah, there are things in the works. There's some big things in the works, but yeah, a little too early to go into them yet. That's all right, Mad Dog. Welcome to the chat. Kianata, remind me, man, if there's something I should announce today. There are a couple things that I want to re-announce or remind you guys of. One is of the affiliate program for Space Engineers. Let me get this up right now. Last week, we launched an affiliate program, which means that you guys, anyone who has kind of a larger community, that could be a server, that could be, you know, a YouTuber, streamer. There is now a way that you guys can, let me just get it up here. Let's see this here. I think I'm trying to remember where it is now. On the website. I had the link before. Let's see if I got this. It'll help me as I'm going. I should have brought it up before I before I went into it here. Could maybe it's on this page. Thank you, Alfie. Thank you. It's on media page. Gotcha. Thank you. Awesome. So I just want to quickly touch on this because there may be people out there who this can be interesting for, and we've just launched it. It's a brand new thing. So yeah. Do you enjoy playing our games? Are you an influencer, YouTuber, or Twitch streamer? How would you like to play your favorite King Software House games and make money at the same time? So this, through this, if people buy any of the games and the DLC through this link, you can earn 15% from each purchase, and it's really simple to join this. You literally just click on the join now. Let me just check. And this will take you to the Keen Software House Partner Network, and you just log in with any of the platforms or email, and you can be set up like super quickly. And yeah, it's definitely very useful. You don't necessarily have to be a YouTuber or something. You could also be just someone who's got a larger community, and people who buy the game or the DLC. So just wanted to shout that out, and that may be interesting for some people out there, or maybe you know of someone who this can be interesting for. So that was a brief thing there. All right, Climb. Let's switch over then and do that scenario that you cooked up for us, I think. So thanks for everyone in the showcase here. Some cool stuff. I apologize if I didn't get to all of it, but some really cool builds that people have put in here today. So many actually. We've got how many on the 24 on the server, so a lot of builds here. Really nice stuff. Cloud City car there, very cool ship. More boats. Yeah, got to get to that water mod at some point. Okay, questions from the chat. Now, while waiting for that reload, will you add more wheel types, like single block top mounted wheels seen on a passenger jet? Oh, you mean more like aircraft wheels? That's actually again another interesting suggestion, and I've been used to using wheels like this a lot actually in survival worlds and creative via the plane parts mod. I can't really comment on kind of Keen's position on that right now. That's the hardest thing, guys. When it comes to will we add something, it's kind of hard for me to answer because unless I have the kind of go ahead to discuss those things, we can't really go into it. But in general, I apologize if I can't give you specific answers of will we add this, will we add that. As much as I want to be kind of, it's these kind of questions are kind of hard for me to answer. Mr. Dev Person, you should have Aaron from Last Stand Gamers. Well, we already mentioned that we could do some YouTube interviews. We said modder interviews, but also if there are creators interested, we could also get some, some YouTubers. And that could also be interesting, kind of go through how their experiences with SE have been and so on. Because a lot of these guys have been playing the game for a hell of a long time, right? Yeah. I know it is. I know how it is. Like, you guys have all these great ideas, and I share a lot of those like feelings with you guys. I know I'm biased. Here I am on the dev stream, Devs Lost in Space, but at the same time, I also love this game from a player point of view. And, I've played nearly 6,000 hours of it, and I have all kinds of crazy stuff that I want to see in it. So I get it, especially when you're asking about certain things, certain requests. I'm sorry if I can't always give the best answer for them, but just hopefully we can try and say more about what's going on and what won't be coming in the near future. But it's harder for me because I haven't always got the go ahead to kind of talk about some of the plans we're up to. Let's have a look. This music is very creepy. I feel like I need to That's the spider music, I think. Well, that's the plan, Boss King. Well, the plan is to give both, ideally, but I think as of next week, we'll hopefully have our first modder on the show, and we'll see how that goes, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it, getting their take on SE, while also showcasing, you know, giving them some background into why they got into modding, and you know, maybe the modders' plans. That's what's cool about the modders. Modders are definitely they can really say anything that they're planning, you know, if they want to. So we can definitely, it'd be cool actually to get a modder who's got some upcoming plans and kind of get like modder leaks, you know, because some of the stuff that's being cooked up is absolutely insane. It's crazy. It's crazy actually how good some of the stuff that is being put out. It's okay, bro. Like, I don't mind it being asked. It's just it's hard because these are the kind of questions that it's harder for me to give a good or a more interesting answer, other than like, you know, maybe or that, you know. That's the thing. It's not that I don't like talking about them, or it's not like I don't like addressing it. It's just it's harder to give a good answer to these questions, you know, because of not being of kind of not being at that stage with that specific topic. Okay. Let's have a look. What was it, the update today? So the update today, there was an update that fixed issues of... Hold on, we should be rejoining here. There was an issue with joining modded worlds. So if you guys had an experience of being unable to join modded worlds, it was because of this. And that should be fixed now. So that was one thing. Well, the main thing is, Morris, obviously, you know, we have a limited amount of resources, and we have, you know, a team working on the updates. We have a team working on the engine. We have a team working on Xbox, so, and like fixes and stuff. So it's of course it's one of those things that is trying to assign the resources that we have effectively, and if that's what you mean, Morris. Okay. So this is a football. This is Mech football by Halapatsu, and it's something interesting that was sent to me. So I thought we could check it out here. There it is. Hotfix. Hotfix 197.181. Fix the inability to connect to highly modded servers. So that should be that one out. Hey Kingzor, welcome. Swifty, I know this is a burning issue or question the community has. As soon as possible, you know, it's one of those things we're assessing, because it's one of those things that definitely needs some assessment. But as soon as it's possible, which again isn't doesn't give you an exact time frame, but please do know that it's a topic of the community right now that's definitely being discussed. All right then, so. This is Mech football, and I'm really curious to see how well this works out. So you've got some kind of ball in the middle. Do we copy these? Let's have a look. There was instructions there. Shall I read the instructions? And maybe here, yeah, a big scoreboard as well. Okay, this is pretty cool then. Red v blue. Rocket League. Kind of. With kind of bouncing frog mechs. How you guys holding up with COVID? Do you feel it's limited the workflow? I would say no, bruh. Keen has adapted really well, actually, to the COVID situation. You know, everyone's working from home, but the last year it's been a challenge, of course, to kind of move across to that. But it's actually been good in a way, because it's allowed us to streamline some processes, because you don't have that face-to-face meetings, all the rest of it. You have to be more organized, actually, when it comes to having a home office, both as individuals and as a company, I think. So it's definitely been, there was an adaptation phase, but honestly, I think everyone's mostly okay with it. Like, of course, I miss like the work. I miss seeing faces and the kind of office hangouts or whatever. But no, it's been fine actually, and it's also opened up opportunities now. It's opened up the idea that anyone can join Keen now. You know, no matter where you are in the world, you can join Keen Software House and work remotely. So that's really cool, because in the past we didn't always have that. It really was the case that you had to relocate to Prague. So that's something that's really good, I think, for the company, is that going forwards, regardless of when COVID's back, hopefully gone, situation at least is kind of improved, and people can come back to the office if they want. There'll still be the option to work remotely. So that's a big thing. Jake, lots of questions about weapons. So I touched on weapons array today, and just saying that we are very aware of the weapons, the demand for weapons, should I say. And me personally, I'm also very, very keen for weapons as well. Again, we've been doing a lot of stuff with the modded weapons currently, the tournaments. If you guys are interested, actually, it's just time to plug the tournaments. If you guys are interested in kind of epic space battles, we've been organizing competitive tournaments the last couple of weeks as we get towards the tournament season. And it's been really, really crazy actually to see how many members have joined this tournament. We've had, just last week we had 8 slots for tournament members, and we had 28 entrants. And this week we're already at like 32 or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but this thing is getting really, really popular, and it's a lot of fun. And a lot of people are actually reinstalling the game to check this stuff out. So it's really cool to see people getting hyped about this, the stuff that's been going on. But I think that actually is just an indication of just how much passion there is for weapons and more combat in Space Engineers. So of course, this is also something that, Keen will be watching and keeping an eye on, because as well as the overriding feelings about people wanting weapons, there's a lot going on in the community right now around that, which is showing that people are having a lot of fun with this stuff. So that was a ramble there. Right, let's have a look at this. Let's watch these mechs play football then. The game started. Here we go. Mech football. Angry mech football here. So these are Halapatsu mechs. And let's see who will win today. Red v blue. Where's the ball? Hold on a minute. Where'd the ball go? Restarting? Oh, okay, I think we're restarting now. So get ready, guys. Prep yourselves. Nikomtu, just wanted to pop in to say I love this game and please get the good work. Thanks for such an incredible game. Nick, I am very happy to hear that. Lots of things happening still. Lots of plans. Okay, need to balance the teams. All right. Yeah, so try and balance yourself so we can get, enough on the blue team. It looks like Reds are pretty dominating here. And once the teams are balanced, I think Klein will then go ahead and put the ball in. Chief, welcome. Others joining us. Okay, I should show the part. Yeah, it's a good point. Halapatsu's in the stream right now and on Twitch, so I should show the instructions here how to pilot it. So you've got, it's just standard controls, WASD, spacebar, C to sprint, lean forward if bouncy, spacebar plus W is lunge, spacebar A and D side jump left and right, mouse and Q and E is orientation, control steering. You can tap the buttons to use short bits of animation, for example. So I can use like half the stuff, okay. Your orientation will matter during maneuvers and should be considered at all times. Jumps are great for catching balls, transferring players. Ramming is a great way to annoy ball transferring players. You can use spacebar plus A or D to extend the leg, then use mouse to turn and kick the ball for opposing teams. So it might take some warm up here, but these mechs seem to have quite a lot of functionality. If you come back to the legs of them here, they have multiple things going on. They're not just kind of multiple axes, should I say. In the center, as well as going like this, I don't know how to best describe this, they can also go like this and like this. If that makes sense. It looks like, hold on here. Yeah, up here we've got like rotor onto this rotor part. So some pretty complex leg setup here for the mechs. I think we're almost there with the team balance. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. We get that one player on blue and we'll be good to go. That'd be great. Yeah. The tournament stuff is still warming up. Like, we're still working really hard on the balance. It's still not perfect yet. And the main thing is that there's a lot more interest for the tournaments than there are slots in the tournament. So that's only for the test tournaments. The first like main tournament that we're going to be doing will be in a couple of weeks or maybe more at this point. But that will be basically unlimited. Not unlimited, but there will be a lot higher cap for entrance, and we'll have multiple weeks of qualifiers. So that's a short part on the tournaments that we're doing. And it's been really exciting recently. You know, we've had a huge influx of players. Armco, Captain Shack and Wasted were involved as well. So really cool stuff. We can probably get the trailer linked in chat maybe if people are interested in seeing what I'm talking about of all this tournament stuff. Have you seen the... I have not seen the multi-grid projector mod. Now, that's a big deal, Ginger, because a lot of people have wanted multi-grid projector support for a long time because it enables factory lines. It opens up a whole new level of automation. So that seems like something that I got to check out there. The multi-grid projector mod. That sounds insane. Felix, welcome. All right, then. The round's about to start. I think the teams are balanced now. The ball is in. Let's go. Wait, what the heck? What is this? Okay, here we go. We've got the player names up. This is interesting to watch. We've got... Okay. Passes here to More Sun. Now, who's this? Making their way through. Koenigs. Making their way towards the red goal. MC's getting in goal now for a potential blue strike. You can tell that people are still warming up to the controls of these mechs. This is an interesting thing to spectate for sure. Looks like the blue are trying to get a kick on there, but the reds have come back to defend that. You're welcome, bruh. Yeah, and I say I'm glad this can be useful. Hopefully, this is never going to be as crazy as exciting as the release streams. But the main thing about these Thursday community streams is it was always supposed to be more relaxed and just an opportunity for you guys to just hang out together as a community and you know, with myself and other keen peeps and yeah, maybe some modders as well, stuff in the future. So glad you're enjoying it. The thing that we brought up a couple weeks back at the start about having the schedule on the left-hand side, like what we've discussed, what's coming up. So rather than it being a little bit, having it more organized, you know, having like a Q&A segment, a showcase segment, an interview segment, and have that displayed on the screen. That's still something that I want to get to eventually. So people joining or people watching the video can see, get a better idea of what was covered in the stream, rather than just kind of more sporadic stuff. But is damage off? Damage is probably off, yes, because I think it's more about, it's not so much about destroying each other, you know. Great, bruh. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Okay. Let me see if I can do a question here while you guys... any missed questions, go ahead and repeat them in the chat now. There were some. I'll try and answer some questions here as these... These mechs fight over the ball. So far, no goal. Here we go then. I think we're getting there. Some big lunges there from that particular blue. Here comes Stone Lords on his own there. No one in red goal. Super asks, have you guys thought about a shader time step physics system? It will allow for massive parallel processing. Shader time step physics system. Super. As myself is not someone who's so technical, I'm not quite familiar with this. I mean, the terms I understand, but I'm not quite familiar with this kind of system. I mean, as for parallel processing, this is something that's been increased massively over the years. It's something the guys are still looking at, I believe. And it's, you know, using more cores is definitely something that SE didn't have at all. Like, I don't know at what point we first added parallel processing, but it wasn't that long ago, you know, in years that there was very minimal parallel processing at all, and that's definitely something that has been added on. I know we've been updating performance over the oh, look at this, over the years. Performance has been increasing, and I know it's sometimes hard to see performance increases over day by day, but I still like to think, and from what I often see, is that people who return to the game after some time away find the game to be performing much better. And I can say that looking back on old VODs and old streams, that you can definitely do a lot more in the game in terms of like block count, player count, than you could do a couple years ago. So apologies I couldn't give the best answer for that. You mean using the GPU for processing? Is that, yeah, I mean shader physics systems, using the GPU for processing with CUDA OpenCL. Were you on that kind of line, Super? Question, can you invite some of the guys who worked on the scenarios? We have them in the game right now, actually, X-Master, I think. Or maybe not. I know that Halapatsu's in the chat, so someone's watching, Halapatsu's watching it, but do you mean like as an interview? Would you guys like to have a voice chat interview with some scenario creators? Halapatsu could be interesting, because Halapatsu has done so many mech-based scenarios and builds in general. Like, he's one of the most experienced mech builders in the community. So, where you break down the simulation into small steps, and each block is simulated in isolation with neighbor influences using data from the previous time step. As to whether that's something we've looked at or working on, I can't say, unfortunately. I'm not sure if, do we have anyone who maybe knows, you know, maybe some, I don't know, some of the guys who are more looking at the code of SE. Oh, the Blues are trying to get it in. The Reds are defending here. Who's this? Roni trying to get a ball in, but that diving in the ground, Chewy keeping out that ball. Still 0-0 so far. So game sounds. Oh, there's the game sounds. Like, it's literally, this is like, what do you call this? Like, clang ball? Can we call this clang ball? I feel like that will work. I can use my controller here, I think. You miss Aragast's voice. I miss Aragast's voice as well, M1. It's one of those things that I look back with kind of some nostalgia to some of the days when we used to work in the office, you know. Yeah, definitely. We had a lot of fun with Aragath on streams. Just get a goal, I know. Soccer? What is soccer? What is that word? Does Space Engineers have SLI support? I've always wanted to use 2 graphics cards to run SE. Never really knew what to look for. I don't believe SLI is supported in Space Engineers. For better or for worse, I think SLI is still one of those things that seems to be on the downtrend, right? I mean, even NVIDIA are reducing support for SLI more and more. With every coming generation of cards, there seems to be less of a support for it. Yeah, I think they did, right? Well, and honestly, with graphic card shortages at the moment, it's probably a good thing it's not too popular, you know? Because it's crazy. I'm not sure you guys have been following this much, but like AMD just launched a new card yesterday, and of course it was sold out like within seconds. And there's no signs of letting up. Like, I have literally no idea. Like, when will graphics cards just become a thing that people will have in stock again? Like, there seems to be no end in sight. Especially as long as the crypto stuff is going nuts, I think it's going to be yeah, it's just crazy. We really, you know, I was really looking to get a 3080 for this stream setup, you know. Because we got a new PC for hosting these streams and stuff. Oh, not quite a goal. But we couldn't get a 3080. Had to put an old card in it. So if anyone has a spare 3080 that Keen could buy, let me know. If anyone knows of how to get a 3080 that isn't 2,000 euros, you know, let me know. But I think I was asking in Discord actually the other day, like, anyone know of any spare 3080s? But at this point, if anyone knows of any spare 3080s or, you know, similar cards, they're looking, you know, they're looking for cards themselves, you know. There aren't really any spares, so to speak, so. You're waiting for 3 months, John. That's just brutal, isn't it? Especially brutal if you're building a new PC and all your the rest of your PC is ready to go. You're just missing that one crucial component, right? Yeah, the only way to buy these new cards now is to buy, you know, a fully built PC from either, you know, OEM, but like any kind of dedicated builders. They some of those guys have these cards in stock, but that's about it. Still no goals. Jolly Joel, my head's hurting. The competition is stiff, I have to admit here. There's been some close calls here, but the mechs are scrambling for the ball, but so far it's been a real battle of attrition. What graphics cards would you personally recommend to replace my 750 Ti with? I'm looking for something kind of cheap. So Diob, it's interesting you bring up 750 Ti because 750 Ti, if you guys didn't know, is that it's what the majority of Keen PCs were on for many, many years. And I think many Keen PCs still use 750 Ti's. It was like the go-to card because one of the mentalities was always, you know, if the Keen PCs were like lower range or weren't high range, there'd be more of a kind of incentive almost to optimize the game, right? Because if you're playing Space Engineers, even for the last couple of years on like a high-end PC, I mean, doing 1080 Ti, like recent i7, it's going to be running absolutely great. Like even for many, even ignoring the optimizations done, it was still running pretty good for recent years. I think there was the Ryzen issue we had with Ryzen, which was fixed eventually. It was good, but I think the idea was that if a lot of the developers are on lower-end systems, it's more of an encouragement, you know, to get the game running better for them as well, right? So big love for 750 Ti, because I honestly would say that 80%, maybe more, maybe 80% of Space Engineers like programming and code has been done on systems with 750 Ti's. So 750 Ti's have a grand history at Keen Software House and Space Engineers. I think now there are more PCs with 1070s. I think at some point some of the guys got 1070s to kind of get some, you know, different specs in there. But in general, 750 Ti's did a lot of heavy lifting. What do you guys think of the scenario then? Do you think the guys are just playing really well, or do you think it's maybe a bit too hard to score? They're really battling it out here. Some limbs have been lost. Yeah, Mitsuma, I definitely heard things about this, about the SLI here. They need to coordinate. I guess that's the problem, right? Because there's probably not much coordination. It's kind of just rush for the ball. And not enough gravity. But then Necro's saying gravity's too high. I mean, they're able to jump pretty high here, so I'm not sure if gravity's the problem. If everyone learns how to control the mechs better, would probably help as well. It's 1G, is it? Is it 1G? Swifty, yeah, man. I really want to talk more about the plugin situation, but I want to make sure that we have kind of a a really kind of formalized opinion statement on that. I don't want to speculate too much in the stream, if you know what I mean. So I don't want to. Oh my goodness. Sorry, everybody. Scared me. I don't want to kind of put any. I don't want to add any more speculation to the mix. There's already a lot of speculation about this in general. So as much as I like to talk about it and I love plugins, I don't want to talk about them right now because I don't want to kind of give the wrong impression or get some news out there that isn't accurate, right? So that's the main thing about it. Was it a goal? I was just trying to goal. There we go. There it is. I guess it should come up on the score. Hold on a minute. This is just a. There we go, guys. We saw a goal finally as I was rambling there. Didn't even react. I was just too busy thinking plugins. Does this just... Do you just put like a... Is it projector maybe? Or maybe just put it as a block? There it is. 1. There it is. We can watch Climb come places in here. There it is. 1, 0. Perfect. All right then. Ready back up. Get your... Oh, it already continued? Is it? Did you restart the map? Did you restart the round climb? I realized, like, right this second, right, it doesn't help anything, and I realized that, like, we use plugins. I'm using plugins. We're using plugins for this tournament, right? So it's very, very popular at the moment, and it's definitely not being ignored. It's actually being looked at and assessed. Yeah, this week I've been in some conversations about it, so we'll try our best to get that out as soon. So whatever is said about it, modders can kind of move forward, right, without the being the unknown. With the score that big, we'll be here a long time. We can do like first of 3 maybe. What time is it here? Actually, I can't believe it. We're going. I said tonight we'll keep it short because we weren't able to get an interview today, but we can go for a bit longer here. If Reds, yeah, we can do like. If Red score, we could then just do sudden death here or something. Like, well, first ball to score. Red, so close here. Look at this. Diving. Oh no. That's so close. It hits the sidebar there. Oh, and it rolls back out. Heartbreak for Reds. Did it cross the line? It might have crossed the line, actually. I'm not sure, but just turn damage on. Diov, thank you. That's yeah, glad I could get behind that a little bit there for you. Yeah, there's some questions I can really go into depths with. It's just the hardest questions are the feature questions, and I know they're the hottest questions, right? If you guys, you could say like water, and I could just give you a really tasty answer. That would be the best thing, right? But it's unfortunately, unless I have some knowledge beforehand or some approval, it's going to be it's going to be a little harder to comment on these bigger things, right? But general development questions and community questions, modding questions, I can like have an answer for, or at least point you in the right direction. Talking of that, join our Discord, guys. Definitely join the Discord if you're looking for a place to discuss. Oh, hold on a minute here. Hold on a minute here. Reds are open. Here they go. They're scrambling. Maybe fighting for who is this scrambling here? Chewy and Sky King. One hit, and the Reds have brought it back in. Here they go. Here they go. Oh, they're reaching. Oh, header. And there we go. Wait, the music's when the music happens, I think, when the goal is scored, not Roni. 1-1, guys. They're offside. Offside. Was it offside? Are we playing actual football rule? We'll probably skip the offside rules, else we'll probably get some quite we'll be here for a while, I think. I only play on Xbox for now, and man, it's difficult to watch to do things that aren't important to Xbox and PC. So, Jens, a little thing on that, actually, regarding the Xbox. So, that has been hard until recently. And while there can't be client-side mods, and it's come recently because all the weapon call stuff, all the tournament stuff I've been doing, there's been lots of Xbox players who have wanted to join in, but it just won't be possible because of Microsoft's TOS not allowing client-side plugins. With that said, I think something like this could be on Xbox. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a missing, there may be a block. I don't think there's any client-side. This is just rotors and stuff, right? So it may not be enabled. It may not be important on Xbox, but that actually was something that last week happened where we re-added mod IO to the Steam version of the game, of the PC version. Of course, there was some feedback about that when it launched, and there wasn't the option to opt in. So that was something that that we changed. So mod IO support is back on the PC version. So both modders and Blueprint creators can, with one click, upload to both Steam and mod IO. Now, some creators may not choose to do that for various reasons, but the process has been enabled again, and it does enable easier publishing to both mod IO and PC and Steam. So hopefully in the coming months, what I want to get to is the fact that we'll see more mods and more scenarios on Xbox as well, right? This uses a Mech script by Trekker Joe. Oh, is that right? Hold on. But wait. That's running on the... But wait. That Mech script, is that running... It's running on the programmable blocks, but don't the programmable blocks run server-side? So I'm still thinking, actually, if it's possible, right? I'm just thinking here. Thomas, weapons update. Lots of questions about weapons, as always. And again, just repeating what I said earlier, Thomas, we recognize, we hear that this is the biggest, one of the biggest topics that people bring up. So I would definitely say just stay tuned, because we definitely hear you guys on these things. That dive, right? Some amazing dive. Yeah, so I think this should work on Xbox. Halep, if you could be an absolute legend, if you can try uploading this to mod.io, it seems that some, Xbox players might want to get in on this. Yep, all DLC on Xbox. All the... Oh my goodness, someone just jumped out of the arena. Who was that? Oh no, more. And he's out of the arena. Goodness me, there's a pile up in the corner here. That's what's the hard... You know what you do, Halep? You need to make the corners of this arena like angled, right? Isn't it? It's the same in... It's kind of the same in Rocket League. Because the hardest thing is when the balls get to this like sharp corner, it's really hard to get in there and like get the ball out. So you probably want some kind of like angle or slope on the corner so you can actually more easily get them out of there. And I'll repeat the teaser. I know it's a very, very vague teaser, but I want to reinforce it. The only teaser you guys have had so far is that regarding the next update, it will be a part 1. So it will be something update or update part 1, which may be... it doesn't really say much, but it's something. It may speak about the... I don't know what kind of speculations you can draw from that, but that's the only thing that we've said so far, which we said in last week's stream. My people need me. No other hints. Yeah, I haven't got any... Oh! Oh, off the bar there, off the side, off the post. Off the post. Yeah, I'm sorry, no more hints today, but we will remember while the update is still cooking up, we are very close actually to having our first kind of preview or hint or teaser like visual of this, I believe. I know I'm being vague. I'm doing my best that I can today, Indra. I'm just repeating last week. I apologize though. You know, Indra. As soon as I can leak, as soon as I can say what it is, I will be on that. I'll be on that. We'll start the stream early to get that out. Yeah, Jens, I would love to see more. Like, I would love to see more and more stuff on Xbox. And I know last year it came out and it didn't have the same feature set as the PC version, so there was lots of discussion about it. But I'm really, like, the guys are putting a crazy amount of work to get the Xbox version to where it is now to be nearly the same as the PC version. The only things that limit us from going any further, I think, is the platform itself, maybe, or the rules that Microsoft have in place, you know. Got to abide by those rules. So yeah, I really hope that more of our community can post on Mod.io, if that's what they choose to do, because it'd be great to see more collaboration between the two communities. Got to keep that job. There's yeah, many eyes watching Sugarfett. You never know who's... Maybe Marek's watching me right now. Maybe Marek's in the room right now, you know? Give it to us straight. I know, Chief. I think that the thing is, this. I think sometimes... do you guys prefer, like, no information or like no hint speculation? Would you rather get something, or would you rather just have it straight and that's it? But that the straight answer might not come till later, you know. That's the tough thing. Like, often people want like a teaser or some kind of hint towards it, but I think others it's painful to know that, right? Because you always have that case where people are speculating, right? I mean, as for like official teasers, I feel like that's something we've improved with on our socials, right? Because we used to be very cryptic in the past, and the most recent updates, I think even the most recent update, we literally said what it was. We put a teaser, we put a preview on Twitter or something, and we like named exactly what it was. So the social media teasers, previews, whatever you want to call them, I think of the last couple of updates have been quite literal to what it is. But maybe just the hints I've given on these streams have been more vague, but that's only because not quite there yet with the being able to get the full teaser there. No hint is torture. See, that's what's so weird. Some people love vague hints. I think some people love the speculation, but then others hate it. I think it kind of drives them insane a little bit, right? No hints. Okay, you just love the surprise, right? Let's have a look here. Reds are about to score, maybe. A huge wrestling match has descended upon the front of the Blues goal here. This is it. 1-1-1 so far. This could be whoever wins the next goal will win. And I think we'll begin to wrap the stream up. After this, I'll just, again, look at the questions. So if I still haven't answered your question tonight yet, which I'm sure I haven't answered all of them, we'll have a final kind of 10-15 minutes after this last match to really... for me to focus in on chat and get any more questions out. Does anyone have any cool cinematics to end the stream with? We had last week we had Lunar Colonies one. The week before we had one from Void. Are there any cool cinematics or ideally, yeah, cinematic shorts, like 5-minute Space Engineers videos we could end the stream with today? I remember that one, Seven Sins. I remember the turbines. That was a big one. That was a huge one. The wind turbine teaser, yeah. Is there any copyright music used, Indrasil? That's something I've got to watch out for. I would have played the tournament trailer already on it, probably, but John went ahead and used a copyrighted track, which ends up banning the viewing in Japan, but for some reason. Which is okay in a video, but I'm not sure what happens if you play something like that on a stream, so I'd rather not risk it. Here we go, we're so close now. It's got really intense here. Blue's got one in goal. Is this going to be a counter attack from Blues now? How's the space clear? Yeah, looks like the field's pretty open here. If Blue can get control of their mechs, the red goal is yeah, the red goal is open. No defense here. It's a mad scramble. Luna got a new one. We could always watch a new one because it was really great last week. Luna's cinematic, so we could watch another one from Luna. Did great work there. Or Shadow Traces. Oh, we could put that on actually as well. Climb. That was. I'm trying to remember that one there. I can check that out. And interesting. I'm gonna remind myself. We can have a look there. Everything with Zoc turns into Red v Blue. This wasn't my idea tonight. This is Halapatsu, but it's maybe coincidence that it ends up being Red v Blue. In before we're in before we have another like 5 hours of stream while we're waiting for the final goal to be scored. That's cool. That's also a reminder. We always have lots of creators who are maybe new to SE or maybe smaller creators. So please do get in touch, guys. If you work really hard on a cool Space Engineers video, please do get in touch with us. You can contact Kianata, I think info@Keen Software House, or press@Keen Software House can also work. And yeah, please do say, because it's sometimes hard for us to find new creators or maybe some hidden gems out there, but we always love to see it. So if you're working on something, yeah, please do share that. Maybe we can watch a couple tonight then. We can watch Luna's and someone else's maybe. The one that's yeah. It was my returning video to SC, of which I'm actually returning to the game every week. Nice, Mad Dog. All right, Reds maybe here. Reds have control of the ball. They're going straight. All the Blues are on them. Oh. This scenario. What a scenario, right? I'm a creator of puns. Hey, Enner, you make awesome mods. Gens, I mean, as for future DLCs, I mean, the whole thing has been about, since the release, it's been about finding the balance between both free and premium content, and I definitely think that some of the DLCs, we got it better than others. It was kind of like a learning experience for figuring out, like, trying to make sure that there is value being added to the base game, at the same time as adding something additional via the premium element. And yeah, it's still something that we're always looking at to try and make sure that players feel like they are getting good value, right? Was it Wasteland? Yeah, the last one was very popular actually. I think Wasteland and yeah, the last one. I think people quite like the rustic Mad Max vibe going on, right? Here we go. Here we go. There's a blue in goal. Oh, they're diving. There's just too many blues blocking it. Blues, it's funny, isn't it? They've definitely got more organized, kind of, since the start of this this whole match. Because you saw there, all the blues rush into the goal to kind of block the goal off when the reds were like lining up a shot there. So just hanging out. I buy the DLC just to support the devs. The devs appreciate that super. Just chilling out there. They're just chilling out. All right, and meanwhile, back to the match. We'll have to give this, we'll call it a tie. You guys have 20 minutes. 20 minutes to to wrap this up yourselves. Else we'll have to call it a draw. Or we can do penalty shootout, can't we? Question, can we get one size grid with large blocks just taking up several grid spaces? Hold on. Wait, you mean like multi-grids? You mean like compound blocks, right? I mean, again, the dream that I'd always love is to have the idea of having like, where you could choose the size of blocks. That's the dream. I mean, the grid sizes, if it was kept like it, there's some people recently were telling me that, we were discussing it, I think 2 weeks ago, of having a super grid size. But here's a question for you guys. What do you think, what would you rather have, theoretically? A super grid size, so bigger than large blocks now, or a micro grid size, so smaller than the small blocks? Because I feel like, honestly, I'd rather have micro blocks, because then you could build like drones and stuff that would be like, you know, as big as drones, I don't know, like maybe a meter big, but it has a lot of detailing. It has all the components in. So I don't want to swing the chat vote at all, but I feel like micro blocks would be more interesting. But maybe I'm missing something here. Or neither. And just theoretically I'm asking. There was another, did someone just score? No, I don't know. Score's still 1-1. Neither. Super grid is micro, medium. In between. I didn't think about that. In between small and medium. Small and large. Medium for me. Micro. So again, I may have swayed a little bit, but definitely micro seems more of a deal. Micro grids and micro costs would be great for creativity and survival. Medium. You can't combine grids, of course. And I think that would be the thing, wouldn't it? Where you can combine grids and you wouldn't even have the grid sizes. It would just be like a minimum and a maximum size. And you can scale it up and you can place whatever you're on. Of course, that would be something cool. .5 meter cubes a must, which is in between, isn't it? All right, still waiting for that final goal. Fifth lag, welcome. Here we go, a kick. Oh no, I felt surely there. Hold on. Here we go. Yes, team up, come on. Kick it. Oh, heartbreak. I feel like this is the kind of match that someone already said, if you sped this up 2 times, it would be more watchable, probably. Oh, wait. And there it is. GG's. Blue team coming out victorious. It was a well-fought round. You guys did very well. But in the end, battle of attrition here. Quite a scramble. Scores on the doors. 2-1. I would do best of 5, but I think we'll be here for quite a bit longer here. So I will just leave this in the middle here. I'll just leave you guys to watch some chaos, and we'll just start to wrap this up. And I will now, for the final kind of 10 minutes, focus here on the chat and look back at any questions. Maybe you hear at the start of the stream and I've missed your question 4 times. Now is the time to answer it again, and I will see if I can have less than last week unanswered, eh? Okay. Can we have folders for GPS menus and blueprints? GPS menu would be really nice, actually, because when you have a bazillion signals for just for mining, that'd be great. I think for blueprints, you used to be able to have blueprints for folders of blueprints if you created them in your Windows Explorer. You couldn't do it in game, but the game supports it. So if you did it in the Windows Explorer, but once we changed the blueprints from this side screen to the center screen, I don't know if that option still exists, actually. Can I ask a weird question? Every time I try to launch Space Engineers, Steam shows that it is launched, but nothing happens. Only a process shows in Task Manager. I'm not sure about that, Fiflak. You can always try running it as administrator, maybe. Verifying, this is all kind of basic things. Verifying your game files. If it continues, definitely use the support site to try and help get some of our QA team to debug that for you, because yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Holy moly. Look at this. Damage on, please. Okay, so Enera thinks that you can still make folders in blueprints. You just have to do it outside of the game, which obviously will not be possible for Xbox users. But yeah, it's worth a try again if it works. Also, take this opportunity to remind you guys, back up your blueprints and worlds, always. Hopefully it's not anything that, Keen causes, but in general, it happens more than often that, I do it as well. That's the whole point. Even I back up my blueprints and worlds periodically to Google Drive or to a separate hard drive or something. So I really, really encourage you guys. We should have a day. We should have 4 times a year or something. We should have make sure you've backed up your blueprints and saves or something. And regardless of anything that Keen does, there's always issues that your PC can have, or something that Windows, who knows, that could potentially cause that kind of data loss. And some people don't mind it. Some people kind of build stuff and they're like, it was alright, it was fun. But some people spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours on blueprints and worlds, and it's a real, it breaks my heart when I hear that someone has lost their entire collection of stuff. So I really definitely would encourage you guys to take the moment to do that if you haven't done that recently. All right, I'll just close the game now for a second. Thank you, Climb. Big shout out to Climb in the chat for helping us today with the showcase world and this scenario. Appreciate that help. Okay, so question. Well, the main thing about so Leo says about DLC. The main thing about DLC is that we really try to have minimal, ideally no functional in the DLC, and rather have the functionality in vanilla. The idea behind that is that players don't miss out on anything major from a functionality point of view. If they choose not to, they can't for whatever reason, right? So the idea is still to have the base game, what's another word for it? Platform update, you could say. And the DLC ideally should feel optional, just as a way to add customizability or add things that don't add too much functional value, because then there's the whole pay to win argument, and we've had to deal with that a little bit during the last couple of years with DLCs. And it's not a good thing, you know. We definitely don't want to have calls of pay to win, because that's 100% not what Keen wants, is to have pay to win. It does not look good. And sometimes definitely been things in DLCs that have been questionable about that. And it's the balance between trying to give something of value for the people who want to get the DLC, at the same time not having it too crazy from the stuff in the base game, right? So that's the main point on that, I think. And I know some people who aren't a fan of DLC, which is fine, obviously want nothing even remotely functional DLC. But people who love DLC and, you know, and want to buy the DLCs, if anything, they want, well, not everyone, but I can see why people who have no problems with it want more in those DLCs, more crazy things, right? So it's a really, I don't know, you know, if we just do a poll, right? I can do it now. If we were to do a community poll, it's probably something we should do at some point. Like, what do you think about Space Engineers DLCs? I'd be really curious to know, you know, where the percentages like kind of lied with those, and yeah, how people feel about them. But in general, it's just trying to make it so for people who want to get them, it's nice and people can enjoy the stuff in them, but it's not to put too much that will, yeah, too much that will kind of potentially break vanilla gameplay. Yeah, so sort of for the ramble there, but I just wanted to really, I know, and I just want to say for Flack, I'm glad you feel that way. I just want to say that we get it wrong, you know, we've gotten it wrong. And the whole point is that it benefits Keen a lot to have as many people as possible enjoying Space Engineers and playing Space Engineers. So putting people off, or putting, you know, at the same time, you know, it's hard to please everyone. It's always about trying to please as many people as possible. But it benefits Keen to have as many people playing the game as possible, sharing the game as possible, feeling as good about the game as possible. So it's a really tough thing with the DLC conversation, right? And lots of people do feel like it's just right. I think that would be the poll, wouldn't it? You know, DLC. No way, Jose. You know, like they're too expensive or something. Just right. Pretty good. And like amazing or something. I don't know, some kind of scale, right? It'd be interesting to know. We're probably due a new community feedback, like a whole wide community feedback poll, I guess. I'm just reading some comments here about it. Yeah, I mean, even in chat, people, it's really interesting reading the comments here. Oh, wow, the chat's exploded suddenly about this. Yeah, that's good. So Sarah says, I'm trying to read some of the comments. Sarah says, so far I've had the impression that the DLC never offered something experienced users couldn't get via mods. I guess something major. And many of us still play gladly. Letting the game live this way instead of starting over with SE2 appears a better way to me, says Sarah. For me, DLC to the devs are still there because the Steam community is very fast on posting. Oh yeah, people will kind of think the game is dead or something. And I mean, in general, Space Engineers is still growing. It's crazy, honestly. I talk about it the last couple of weeks. Like, and numbers are good. They may not be quite as high as they were a couple months back, but in general, the uptrend is there. So it's crazy, right? And I've been playing the game since it came out, since it dropped on Steam Early Access, and I'm happy as a player to see that there's still so much passion and love from it, you know, from the community and what they're doing, and the modders as well. It's really, really great. Okay, I'm just kind of skim reading some of the chat here, guys. There's so many. Let's see. Regret nothing. I'm buying. If I don't mind it, so it's growing. Deal prices are fair from what I've noticed. Period cosmetics. Well, that's getting further. Yeah. Yeah, it should have a bit more content in it. And with the DLCs as well, we've also tried to do some different things, right? We've had ones that was more like decorative blocks. So we had one with scenario because we were curious, like, as somewhat if there was scenario-based ones, right? Frostbite. Is that something that is a scenario, something that people would rather have in the vanilla game? And then with Wasteland, we had the kind of the race scenario. So it's been interesting, and I think part of it, the last couple of years, has been kind of seeing what the players appreciate most from this stuff. So, and I still am totally understanding of people who aren't a fan of DLC, you know. And I understand, again, coming from a player point of view, I understand reasons for those feelings. I think it's just, it's really, at the same time, there's people, it's crazy, there's so many people like who really actually appreciate them and have no problem supporting the game in that way. So it's hard. I mean, it's like anything that you have to balance. It's really been trying to find that sweet spot between not adding too much to the DLCs to kind of maybe be frustrating for vanilla players only, and then but not having them lacking that people feel like it's not good value. So that's what it's all about. It's trying to get that kind of balance right. So anyway, that's just that. But it's really interesting to read your guys' feelings about this conversation in general, because this is what's great about the stream. Like, I read comments about this, I read YouTube comments about this, I read Discord messages about this, I read all kinds of things about this. But it's really interesting to just see you guys speaking about this and chatting about this topic live. Because let's be honest, it has been one of the hottest topics in the last couple of years, right? Especially as like we moved away from weekly updates and kind of started doing the bigger overhauls, and then they released the game, and then the updates with the DLCs. It's definitely been a big conversation. So it's really interesting to see, you know, at this point where people are feeling about it. They shouldn't split the player base, you know. That's also true. And it also doesn't make sense to do that, honestly. Okay. So I'm saying okay to myself as I'm reading some comments here. It's interesting. I have to say, it impresses me how much work you've done on server support over the years. Even just 3 years ago, Captain Jack was pushing them to 20 people. Now LSG is 50 plus. And that's it, Blacksite. I mean, performance, I feel like we'll definitely mention this every week, but it's all right, I think. There's always the want to have better performance in Space Engineers. I want better performance in Space Engineers. I'm always trying to do some crazy thing on stream, you know, like 100 people, crazy battles, whatever. But there's also like no denying that the game has been optimized a lot over the years. And I think it can be hard to feel it or notice it as a daily player. But if you step back from the game for a couple of months or 6 months or a year or whatever, and you come back to it, I get lots of really positive reports from people who come back to it and find that it is performing way better than they last played it, which is good to hear. And I feel like, again, as a player, I've also experienced this and seen this on my streams of what we can actually do now. So it's great to hear that, Blacksite. It's really great to hear that, like, kind of that kind of, I'm like, thoughts there. I get that, Binary. That's a good point. It can be a bit overwhelming, right, when you first come to a game, so that's a good point. Gecko says I bought all the DLCs, but I'm not even playing for the past years, so my way to thank him for the thousands of hours of fun they gave me. Oh man, also, just thinking back to Wasteland, one of the reasons, and also Frostbite, I think to a degree, it was... I mentioned earlier about giving the community the controls and the tools they need to just go crazy with this game. I still believe there's a huge amount of potential. And recently, I have been reinvigorated by the weapon core tournaments that we've been doing. And this is obviously community-based stuff, but it shows that as a platform, the potential is still, even though you think that everything's been done in SE, you realize as the weeks go on that there's still so much cool stuff that community are like creating, designing, organizing. So that's what also excites me, I think. And yeah, giving the community the tools to make this crazy stuff. And I think with Frostbite, we added in better visual scripting support for scenarios, and obviously weather came in. It was something that we wanted to have in there to make it more immersive, so we added the weather. It was limited to start with, and then the next update, Sparks the Future, there was the full-blown weather, right? And it's kind of weird to think that we've kind of got used to having weather now in Space Engineers when, I don't know, like 2 years ago, if it was like weather, it would have been like, what weather, you know? So a lot of these updates and DLCs have actually made us improve the support for the kind of the general game and also its community scene, if you know what I mean. I'm just thinking, and I think in also Wasteland scenario, we added the support for VSTs running on dedicated servers, which was a big deal, because before that point, you couldn't have a visual scripted scenario. You could only have it as a client server. And I think even before that, it was single player only. It was single player only for visual scripting missions. So it was visual scripting for single player, then it was client, and then the Wasteland update added the dedicated server stuff. So I think that's one of the big things that I really also personally want to see with updates going forward, is really giving more power and tools to the community, because these are the guys who are continuously, you know, breathing fresh life and stuff on a daily basis. You know, every one of my streams, I'm looking at, you know, a new crazy build or a new mod or a plugin these days. So it's really, really great to see what people are doing. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm just on I'm not sure what we call this. This is just a ramble time. So I think we can start to wrap this up now. Yeah, it's been great streaming here today, guys. I didn't feel too good actually tonight. I was getting close to maybe canceling today because I had a dodgy stomach all day, but I feel absolutely fine now. Maybe I was just like nervous or something. I don't know. Yeah. An option to turn off lightning. Are we still having problems with lightning? Are we still having problems with lightning being too aggressive? It would be nice to have an option maybe in the advanced settings for just not disabling weather, but disabling lightning. And then maybe at the same time balancing lightning. I don't know where it's at right now, but yeah. Ramble is a stream of conscience. Yeah, I do it all the time. I feel on my stream it's like a given, but I try to be more regimented and strict on keen streams, you know, try and keep them focused and compressed into a short amount of time. But yeah. There is no lightning damage there's no lightning damage mod. Getting struck every 15 seconds. That doesn't seem right. Getting struck by lightning every 15 seconds seems very... That's interesting. Okay. I'll tell you what, actually, I'll put up here. We're going to play some trailers here to finish the stream off. We're going to play a new one from Lunar Colony. I think. And maybe, Climb, can you send me that one from Shadow? I'll play the tournament trailer here, I think, but without any sound, because the sound is, I think, maybe copyrighted. So I don't want to trigger anything. I don't want to have issues with the Space Engineers channel here. Lightning rods? Lightning rod. Okay, so just for like attracting lightning off anything else. Isn't that not what antennas do? I mean, antennas is not their main purpose, but I'm pretty sure antennas, that was the main thing about antennas, right? A lot would like an on-off buttons for lightning. Okay, because I think most people like weather, but not lightning so much. So that's a good suggestion. I think adding a checkbox for lightning is a pretty reasonable thing. I think it shouldn't be too hard to do. I will bring that up as soon as possible. Decoys as well. Yeah, decoys and lightning attract... Sorry, decoys and antennas attract lightning. So maybe, yeah, you can try that to start with. But, oh, okay, hold on. No. Jasper's saying they didn't work. So I'm not sure, Jasper. Maybe a bug in that case? Okay, that's interesting. Strange. Okay, I'm getting mixed messages in the chat about this. Hey, Lunar, you're here. Lunar, is that cool if we play your video? The latest one? Should I put on stream? Is it? I think I haven't checked. I didn't see. I don't think I've watched it yet, actually. But I heard you've got a new one. I feel like it's too early to end now. There's so many. See, I checked the code. Okay, so Struwinkle says the decoy and antenna needs to be a station for it to work. So maybe is this on a moving vehicle, Jasper? I'm just curious because apparently the code says that only the lightning rod functionality of those blocks only works for static grids. Okay, but it's only in a 50-meter radius. So you have to have enough of those around to protect your stuff, right? So 50-meter radius is for... decoys are 50-meter radius, antennas are 10-meter radius. So, yeah, so an antenna will only protect 10 meters around it, decoys. So decoys are pretty good. Decoys, you know, quite a wide spread, but that's interesting. That's weird, Jasper. If you really think it's a bug... Again, suggest visiting the support site and leaving that as a message there. Maybe there is some kind of edge case. Okay, Binary saying they do not work again. Middle of my base, and I stayed 2 blocks away from it, and it got struck by lightning in the head more than 5 times. So maybe multiple people are reporting they're not working. So maybe there is a bug on this currently. I'm not sure. Large grid antenna never gets hit. Okay. Hold on, guys. Just get this up. Yeah, so... What we'll do is, guys, next week we should have our first interview with a modder, and there'll be more time for questions then. So we're going to wrap this up today. I think I got through a lot of questions. I didn't answer all of them because the questions are coming in regularly here, but I will continue asking more next week. Remember, guys, every Thursday, this same time, we're going to have these streams. Maybe sometimes there'll be a reason we don't, but on the whole, these weekly streams will be there. And yeah, apologies if your question didn't get answered today, but we'll get back to them next week. Drew Bear, nothing to announce anything about PlayStation. I definitely know that after you know, it makes sense. Everyone was asking about Xbox, and Xbox is there now. And then, of course, obviously, you know, PlayStation, Xbox, it's the other major platform there. So it's a good question, and definitely a growing number of people now are asking about PlayStation now that, you know, Xbox is there. So nothing to add to it right now, Drew, but definitely appreciate there's a large number of people who also would like to see it on PlayStation. There's a last question for the night. There we go. No, I mean, Aratex, we normally have, I mean, last week I had a co-host. Kianata couldn't make it today, and it was definitely having a co-host makes it easier because they can pull questions from the chat and bounce them off. But sometimes it's also easy for me just to like read the chat, but it depends on how the streams go, you know? Okay. So I'll just play this for a minute here. This is just showing you guys what we are up to at the weekends with Weapon Core. I'm not gonna play the music though. I'll link it in chat if you guys want to watch it with the music. But this is just showcasing some of the stuff that we're up to currently with the tournament battles we're doing with the Weapon Core mod. And this is all footage from last year, and I can tell you that this year's already performing much better, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. So something that's I'm really enjoying actually kind of covering, and there's a lot of passion already for it. So just kind of definitely, if you're interested in this tournament stuff and you're a professional shipbuilder, then we'd love to see you get involved. And the details are all in the video here, so I'll link up this in a bit. But just thought I'd show you guys this because it's really exploded in the last couple of weeks. Thanks, Iratex. Yeah, I get it. I'm far from perfect. There we go. But it's beautiful stuff. The Weapon Core guys have done like a great job. It's and all the weapon modders as well. It's the Weapon Core guys as well as the weapon modders themselves. And there's a growing number of these guys who are using the Weapon Core framework for this here. So that's just that video there. I'm now gonna go ahead and find the video from the passion is through the roof. You're right, Enra. I'm now gonna find the Luna's latest one, and then if Climb sends me that Shadow Trace one, we can watch 2 videos tonight to finish, I think, or 3 videos in this case. Here we go. There you guys go. Let me just get this up. Did Climb linked it, actually. Hold on. If you link it up in chat, Climb, I'll get it. So, oh, we have a new video. Here it is. Star Hunter, a Space Engineers movie. Oh, I'm excited now. Lots of passion. Great. Okay. In that case, before we play our outro videos, who do we have in the chats tonight? Let's do some shout outs for everyone who's hanging out on both YouTube and Twitch today. I'll do Twitch first because Twitch always seems to have a slightly lower delay here. And let's see who's been hanging out today. I really appreciate you guys being here for our 3rd episode of Devs Lost in Space, the final name now after last week's long voting. In the chat, I see B-Soldier, Skyblade, Indrasil, Math, Roni, Rotal, Husker, Stardriver, Spartan, Arkaville, Sky King, Spaceborder, Wild, Pools, Pearls, Kmar, Twisted, Mad Dog, Danty 3D, Roni, Terence, Amax, Jetta, B-Soldier, Talia, Renzo, Indrasil, Twin Dragon, Kingdom Bag, Sometimes Play Games, Maximus Nerdius, Stonelaws, Terence, Hot Spicy, Ghost Northern, Karadek, 1381, Ralek, Just Call Me Dots, Roni, Space Confused Spawn, Sarah. I think I got Alfie Wolf as well. There we go. All in the Twitch chat. And in the YouTube chat, I see Squawk, Jasper, Super S, TSC, New Joker, Thomas, Jacob, Old Cats, Francesco, Mad Dog, Christian, Kevin, Jasper, Onefield, Squat, Soup, Michael McFarland, Daybreaker, I Am Me, Jakub, Jens. Hagstrom. Apologies, I probably butchered that, but I tried. Chipsticks, Blacksite, Thomas, Rogue Racing, Callum, Max, Lutz, You Been Had, DM, Donis, Tater, The Aetheris, Ed, Jacob, Bad Daddy, Ultra Mermaid, Pro 3, Balderic, Kevus Pro, G Quan. There we go. I think I got everyone. Pretty good. Danvers. Awesome. So thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next Thursday for another Devs Lost in Space. Hopefully we'll be joined by our first modder interview, and we'll also do more questions. I hopefully I answered some good ones tonight, and if I missed it, hopefully I'll get to it next week. I'll be streaming a little later as well myself over on Twitch. We'll be kind of just discussing this week's tournament stuff because there's a lot to go through. So I'll be streaming a little bit later today over on Twitch, so feel free to join me. And of course, this Saturday as well, there's going to be the 4th test tournament that we're doing. So going to be interesting stuff. And yeah, especially looking forward to actually talking to you guys about what we're working on, which is, I know everyone's wanting more hints, but soon TM. We are closer and closer with each passing week, which I know is a kind of an obvious thing to say, but yeah, it's true. Shadow, could you link me your video, man, while I'm watching this? Klein mentioned your shit video from a while ago. Could be quite good for the stream, so I'll put that up. All right, guys, enjoy Star Hunter, a Space Engineers movie, and I'll link this in chat after for you guys to actually... I'll link this in chat now, actually, for you guys to go check out Lunar Colony as well. So let's... There we have the movie we're about to watch. Let's roll it. There's my cat as well, just in time. And there we go, guys. There is filmed and edited by Luna Connolly. Look at that. What an awesome video. Once again, Luna, amazing stuff. Yeah, man, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And definitely check out Luna Connolly, guys, on YouTube. There we go. Awesome. I'm just going to quickly get up the next video we're going to watch here. Lots of cool screenshots here as well. Yeah, check it out, anonymous user. And welcome to your first stream of this. Right, I got a video here. Next up, this is a ship showcase video, but it's super cool put together here. This is by Shadow Trace, guys. So we're gonna watch this, and then we're gonna wrap up. Bonus video today. Here we go. And there we go, guys. Awesome video from Shadow Trace. I just love the start, right? What he did at the start is just nuts. So where's that start again? Look at this. So the ship starts off all in parts, and it just builds itself back together. It's just absolutely nuts. It's it's one of the most satisfying things to watch I've ever seen, Nessie. I forget. He told me how he did it, but I forget. It's so good. So good. I'll link it in chat, Michael, for sure. Yeah, one more time. There it is. Fitting music as well. All right. Very, very nice stuff. I'll just throw this in chat as well. By the way, Corvus, the ship from last week's, it never, I looked it up. It was never published, actually, Corvus. The ship was a ship from the trailer from the, it was from the holiday update of 2019, and it was made by Bruce Lee, but he never posted it, Corvus. And I looked for it for you. I saw you actually in the comments, and I was like, let me look it up. And I have a copy of it, but it was his ship that I used because he sent it to me like locally, but it was never published. Why, I'm not sure. But yeah. Maybe I'll ask him if you can post it. Right, there's the link there. That's the link in the chat for Shadow. So definitely give Shadow Trace a follow as well, and check out his, give him a like and all that good stuff. And thanks, guys. That really is it now. And I will see you all next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, hold on. That's all for now. And as always... if your rotors are banging, better hope your ship ain't clanging. Yeah, I know it's reused. I'm struggling these days. Bye, guys.